So in this video I'm going to walk you through the process of going through and creating your task 2, going through task 2, which is the Water Blaster rough designs. So you need to review the Water Blaster Technology Basics PowerPoint that's provided below here, and then you're able to start drawing out your rough sketches. Remember that you're required to do at least 3 different Water Blaster designs using the Layout 2D drawing software that is on the computer stations. So Layout is the sister program of SketchUp, and it is more for presentation mode as well as laying out 2D drawings rather than showing them in a 3D form. Remember, these are just rough sketches at this time. And make sure that you review the Blaster basics just in case you need to. So I'm going to minimize this. Here is an example of one of the air pressurized systems. Here's a super soaker, and we're going to go ahead and start one of these now. So when you open up Layout, first of all, where do you find Layout? Layout will be somewhere on the desktop. It looks like this: Layout 2016, 2015, whatever version might be on your computer. You double click on that, open it up, and it will give you a blank screen, or there might be an open window. From here you go to File, New, and you're going to get a Getting Started box that pops up. You're going to go to New, and you're going to select Paper. You can choose A3 or go down to Letter. Letter Landscape is probably the easiest one to do. It's a letter size paper. Hit Open. Okay, and then here is what you have from here. Okay, this is the piece of paper. Now to start drawing out some of these things, I'm going to show you how to use the basic tools. The basic tools or drawing tools are up here at the top of the screen. You have the pencil tool, you have an arc tool, 3-point arc, 2-point arc, and a regular arc. Those are for making the elbow connections. There's a rectangle, rounded, and then these other two, circles, and then the polygon tool where you can decide on how many sides that you'd like to use and create a polygon. You have the dimensioning or text dimensioning here's dimensioning. Here's the labeling options. These are for the required part of labeling and dimensioning, creating your rough sketch dimensions. And then from here, these are some other things like erasing lines. You won't need to use any of these right here. Okay, if you want to check it out in presentation mode, you can just click on the presentation mode, hit escape to get out of it. Alright, so from here, if I were to just draw out, let's say, just the basic part right here, I'm going to draw out this pumping mechanism. So I'm going to go ahead and do that by taking, let's go with a rounded rectangle. So I'm going to put that right here. There's the pump handle. And then I can go and grab a rectangle to create the actual cylinder rod going in. So there's the cylinder. Now there's a problem here that I can fix. See, let's expand this a little bit. Here's the pump rod, and I want to make sure that this is on top so that this does not appear. So I right click and arrange, bring to front, so that is right over top. So you can see that it looks similar to this now. Here is the piston rod connecting to the piston pump going into this chamber. So now I'm going to draw the next part, which is another rectangle, or like this. Okay, and then, like I said, this could just be the pumping mechanism. If you wanted this to be sent back, you would right click on this and hit arrange, send this particular rectangle backward. Okay, as you can see, now you can see through it. So this would show you the section view of the piston pump. Now I'm going to grab another one of these rectangles, but this time it's rounded, to create this part right here. This is going to be the connection going through. And then I'm going to do one more to create the O-ring. Okay, and zoom in a little bit on this. That's the rubber O-ring. Okay, you can actually see that that's what's going to go inside. So right here, this is basically the piston pump. Now, if this was all that you were going to design for your first example, this could be like a water cannon. Okay, and then you can go ahead and select different types for the nozzles. I'm going to go with the rounded. This is the end. This is the nozzle end. Now, is this what I would want? Probably not. Okay, can you change this? Yeah, you could delete it, and you could draw it by hand in using this tool right here, the lines. So from here, draw a line. Start on the first endpoint, trace down, and then come over, and then connect. Alright, so there you've created your polygon. And you can adjust this You can adjust this to whatever you want it to be by double clicking on it, and then you have these little handles to work from. If you want it to be more focused in, you can do that as well. If you wanted it to come out so that you could have a nozzle selector knob like I showed you before, like a garden hose, the nozzle, then you could go ahead and modify that on there as well. But as you can see right here, here is just a basic piston pump. And if I wanted to color it in, I could color it in by coming in over here to pattern fill. And then there's the different options. You can go with patterns, or you can come up to the shape and style and fill it in with different colors here too. So fill, I can change this to whatever color. Let's say make it blue. Okay, so it's colored in. Same with the handle. If you wanted to color that in, you get the idea. Each piece can be a different color if you want them to be colored out. Now, if I were to measure this out, I'd use the dimensioning tool and make a dimension from here to here and a dimension from here to here. So as you can tell, this is saying 3 inches and 51/64 of an inch. Can I modify these so maybe it just says rounds up to the nearest inch? Yes, I can click right here, go over to dimension. That can pop up here on the right hand side of the screen. Go to dimension, and I can first of all change it to center, and then I could go in, change it to the round to the nearest inch, or to the nearest half inch, whatever you want it to be as the precision measurement that needs to go in there. You can change it to engineering. Engineering is going to be fine as well, but you need to make sure that you go down to the nearest. Well, that's in feet. So on the engineering scale, that's not going to work since the precision only goes down to, well, we can go from a foot down to each of these each of these as well. But that's still not going to give us what I want. So let's go back into architectural, or fractional in this case. Alright, and then go to the half inch. Same thing with this one. Change this one to half inch, fractional. Okay, so 1 inch cap, 4 inch section, and so on and so forth. Now, if you go to the Grainger website, you're going to be able to get the exact sizes of all the fittings. Remember that this is just rough estimates at this point. Now, if you were going to try to build in a check valve, I deleted that piece right here and delete this. All I need to do for that is just draw a rectangle or draw this out, and that could be the check valve. And then do an arrow. So you can insert an arrow from coming in here. There's different options for arrows. So if you come over here in the scrapbook, you can see that there's different arrows that you can use, straight up and down. So pick one you want and then move it over. Click on the mouse pointer and drag it over where you want it to go. So that could be the check valve arrow, showing that that's going to go in this direction. Okay, if that's the check valve. And that one's not working. So you can adjust them as you go. You can go in and try different types of arrows. You can even go into different symbols that can be used for this as well. So I'm going to just delete that for now. Now, what happens if you lose any of the items that are on, or the tool options that are over here on the default tray? All you have to do is go up to View and then restore the default workspace, and everything pops right back up here on the right hand side of the screen. When you're finished with the particular drawing that you have and everything is labeled, you go to File, Save As, save the file to your student drive. You can also export a copy of this, which is what we recommend to do, because if you are exporting a PDF version of this, it will make it a lot easier for when you submit the file on Classroom. So if you go into Classroom and you're submitting for this particular assignment, when you go into the assignments, there will be an option down here to add the file, and you can add the PDF file to the attachment. Okay? Like I said, I don't want to take up too much time with this video. If you have any questions or concerns, you can consult one of your instructors. And that is all for this video.